First, I just want to say. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is Channel Gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. Hi, I'm attorney Gavin M. Richard. Check out my latest book, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. For approximately 2 years now, I have gone on a painstaking quest to investigate the rise and fall of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Jell-O, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row. On Thursday nights, it was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-Black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it can make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down, sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn the attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In the 2 years of research, with some help from others interested in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both the legal reasons why his prosecution and trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format. That is the Facebook page for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., the destruction of due process in the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, the place to be is right here with me. It is Channel Gboot2786 on YouTube, as well as on YouTube, Gavin Richard, Facebook, Gavin Richard, and Periscope on GavinRich2786. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. Welcome to Random Topic Sundays, ladies and gentlemen. And on today's show, we will discuss the following. Rest in peace, Traci Braxton. Lawyer who represents Jane Doe and Chris Brown lawsuit withdraws. DeShaun Watson not indicted on any charges, and get well, primetime Sanders. All this and more, ladies and gentlemen, tonight on our broadcast. We are hot and heavy tonight. We're going to go ahead and get started. But before we do that, of course, we like to pay some bills. So I want you all to please go ahead, if you have not, and go to Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com. That is the name of our seasoning company, Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nonny's goes great with every dish. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we also have our music that we like to promote, Video Soul, which is one of our music channels, as well as Apple. We have Gotta Get On Up, which is our theme song. Shout out to the chat. I see you, MJ's girl 85. I see you there. So we're going to go ahead and get started. From Spring, Texas. All right. We got B1 Beauty Supply all the way from Hawaii. Hawaii. And of course, Kid Gravity, shout out to him, Mark Stewart, a bunch of you all, ladies and gentlemen, Emperor Rev, Danielle. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we get on down, of course, we always got to get on up. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on up.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the...
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the...
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady move. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Gavin Richard Presents here. What happened to the music? That is a very interesting question, Danielle. I don't know what's going on, but apparently, it seems like I had to log back into StreamYard. It seems that it timed out. So when that happened, it was trying to buffer, and obviously the connection was lost. So that's what happened. But don't worry, we'll get to play it again before we leave. So what's up? I see some chick named Star. I see Computer Robots, Danielle from B1 Beauty Supply, Kid Gravity, MJ Girl 85. Um, all right. I don't know what's going on. I keep getting kicked out. Okay, what's going on, everybody? So I'm back. We're gonna go ahead and let's get started into it. First off, thank you all for tuning in. Uh, please donate to the Cash App, to Google, to Zelle if you can, or Gmail, wherever you can, to keep this stream going live. Support me, ladies and gentlemen. I'd appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I want to state this first and foremost. Uh, yeah, I'll just start here. Primetime Deion Sanders. I am hoping and praying, brother, that you get well soon. Now, if you all don't know, Deion Sanders has been hospitalized with a bad foot injury to the point where he has actually had to have blood clots removed. Dealing with blood clots in his leg. He was actually looking at having his leg amputated. And sadly, sadly, or gratefully, I should say, that didn't happen. But brother was about to, they said that they were able to just do his toes, which is still not good, but it's better than losing his whole leg, obviously. And, you would think that nowadays, with technology the way that it is, there could be some way that they could avoid uh, having amputations and so forth, but that's not always the case. And I don't think Deion Sanders is diabetic, has diabetes, anything like that. I think it was just from nagging injuries that he had in sports. And this is a man who uh, we know as prime time. I mean, he could jump coverage, he could sprint, he could do punts, returns, and so forth. So it's sad to see him in the shape that he's in. And this was from his hospital stay. He says this ain't a pretty sight.
Type of athlete, and this you don't even know if you're gonna walk.
On Tuesday, the Jackson State University head football coach shared a clip on his Instagram page, captioning it in part, "I told y'all we were going to show it all in this documentary, and that's what this is." He went on to warn his followers about the clip, saying, "This ain't a pretty sight." Sanders had undergone surgery on his foot in the fall of 2021 to fix a dislocated toe and an inflamed nerve. USA Today reports that afterwards, blood clots started at his calf and ran the entire length of his leg. He then developed compartment syndrome, which involves muscle pressure reaching levels that can limit the flow of blood and oxygen. He later learned from his mother that his family has a history of blood clots. Sanders underwent a total of 8 surgeries
That
and
would do
ultimately
it.
required a month-long hospital stay. In a previously released clip, Sanders sends his college athletes an inspiring message from his hospital bed.
Let's go get it. Let's want it. Let's believe it, that it's real, and let's go take advantage.
Put the copyright disclaimer, fair use, fair use, fair use. Fair use.
God is my witness. I don't care if they have to take me out of this bed. I will be back tomorrow.
During his hospitalization, Sanders reportedly lost 35 pounds.
Yeah, I'm praying for a speedy recovery. I think and that's just one of the pictures. That's his actual left toe right there. If you see where the mouse is, these are his toes. And I believe they've even shown the video of it. I've seen it. It was uncensored. I think they cut off these toes here. They started there, the big toe and the toe next to it. You see the damage that was done there. So they had to, obviously, if they had to amputate, there was nothing that could be done. It couldn't be saved. If he started to, if it was, I don't know about being gangrene, but the cells apparently in the foot were dying or dead. And that's what happens. My father, necrosis is when, tissue starts to die in the body. It's the death of cells. And stuff like that. I'm not going to show pictures of it because it is gross. But yeah, Deion could still run. Deion could still run. And I know that had to, just seeing him in that video, that had to be painful for him to go through. You're up one day, you can run a 4. You could still run a 4.0 probably. Deion still keeps himself in shape. And, even at 55 years old, and then to go from that to losing your foot or losing your toes, it's not easy. It's not a pretty picture. I've lost, my father has had to have his foot amputated. That's actually what happened with me all through the month of December. This past year, we had to go through another amputation of parts of the foot. So that was difficult for me and my mother to deal with because, it's the holidays and I'm dealing with my dad being sick again, and that's on me and my mother to take care of it. So it's been hard. It's been difficult. And topping it off, trying to work, keep money, the roof over my head. It's not easy, but you manage through it. And to relate that to primetime Deion Sanders, this man is a fighter. He's a prayer warrior. He is doing great things with Jackson State, and I am praying that he has a speedy recovery. So, Coach Primetime Sanders, I'm gonna call you Coach because that's what your title is. That's what you like to be called, Coach Sanders. Get well soon, brother. Coach Prime, get well soon. You pray for you and Traci. All right. So next, I also want to say, so I was gonna start, I guess, do these. Really, I like to get into the heavier stuff first, but all of these are still somewhat heavy. Whether you're dealing with an illness and then you're dealing with the death of someone. So we want to say rest in power to one Miss Traci Braxton. Traci Braxton died on yesterday at the age of 50 after fighting a battle with esophageal cancer. Her son announced on Instagram her passing, according to this article from the New York Times. The family released a statement saying, Needless to say, she was a bright light, a wonderful daughter, an amazing sister, a loving mother, wife, grandmother, and a respected performer. The statement said. Traci was best known for her appearances on the reality show Braxton Family Values with her sisters Tamar, Tony, Tawanda, and Trina, and her brother Michael and their families. Miss Braxton was referred to as the wild card on the show, which premiered on WeTV in 2011 and ran until late 2020. Miss Braxton also appeared on Marriage Boot Camp Reality Stars with her husband, Kevin Surratt. Traci was born on April 2nd, 1971, the third child of Michael and Evelyn. The Braxton children, of course, we know, was a religious household in Severn, Maryland. Their father was a part-time preacher who forbade the family to play secular music. All of these preachers and stuff that forbade their families from getting in the music industry. Even Marvin Gaye's father, if y'all know how he was not a fan of secular music. He didn't like his son singing doo-wop, and he used to beat Marvin Gaye badly. And we know what happened with him and Marvin back in '84, unfortunately. Now, of course, we know that Toni Braxton is obviously the most successful of the family when she came out in her debut album in '93, and also when she did the Boomerang soundtrack. That's really when she took off, working with Babyface Edmonds and so forth. So she also worked as a social worker before reuniting with her sisters back in 2011. She released her solo debut album, Crash and Burn, in 2014, and a follow-up called On Earth in 2018. In February 2016, Miss Braxton came forward as the voice behind a memorable moment in which a nameless person can be heard at a White House event yelling, "Hey, Michelle," at Michelle and Barack Obama. Mr. Obama responded, "We know it is Black History Month when you hear somebody say, 'Hey, Michelle, girl.'" Ms. Braxton acknowledged being the voice during an appearance on a talk show, The Real, of which her sister, Tamar Braxton, was a host. So I'm just reading this article from the Times. That's Traci there. All of them, all the family look alike. All the girls look alike. And, but I'm sorry to hear of her passing. Her son, Kevin Surratt Jr., of course, is devastated. He spoke about her on his IG post. We're going to go here in a minute and actually hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. So this is so this is a beautiful picture. I see Tony and Tamar and Tawanda. So those are the sisters. You could tell they were all close. Obviously, her husband is upset. He said, "We have come to a time where we must inform the public that after a year of probably undergoing a series of treatment for esophageal cancer, our beloved Traci Braxton has gone on to glory." Was Traci a smoker? She didn't look like she was. Singers, when they get older and so forth, they start to have vocal problems. But it could be something that started in the family. I don't think. Okay, so this is Kevin Jr. He says, "When I heard the news about my mother being sick for the first time, she said said, 'I'm gonna fight and beat this.' She fought to the end, and today she's at peace. I love my mother forever, and this hurts so much, but I'm at peace knowing she isn't in pain anymore. I love you, Ma. I'm gonna miss you." Oh man. Rest in peace, sister. There's Holly Robinson, Pete. I'm gonna be nice. Yeah, Traci and Tamar look alike. Look a lot alike. What's up, brother Bernard? Cancer is no joke. I mean, it could be something that runs in the family too. I mean, cancer, for instance, colon cancer runs in my family on my father's side. Same thing with heart disease, diabetes. Those things run in families. However, you don't have to be like your families. You can stay healthy. You can eat right. You can. I ain't say nothing about Vanessa. I ain't saying nothing about her kid Gravity. Yeah, a lot of people are pouring in tributes to the Braxton family, Missy Elliott. So I want to see what this video was.
Beautiful. Love your endurance. Love how you go and you thrive for you. It makes me look at myself and want me to thrive in my career.
That's crazy.
So thank you for that, so I can learn from that. Thank you. Tony, thank you so much for being a strong sister. Many times you don't want to be strong. Thank you. Trina, I thank you for your business mind, because it makes me want to be a business person too. Tawanda, I need to be more of a secret squirrel like you. What? Because guess what? Because sometimes we tell each other too much stuff and then we harbor and then we get mad. So, thank you for that. I take everything from my sister.
Oh, let's go ahead and let me play this video. So she's.
Love how you go and you thrive. It makes me look at myself and want me to thrive in my career. So thank you for that, so I can learn from that. Thank you. Tony, thank you so much for being a strong sister. Many times you don't want to be strong. Thank you. Trina, I thank you for your business mind, because it makes me want to be a business person too. Tawanda, I need to be more of a secret girl like you. Because guess what? Sometimes we tell each other too much stuff and then we harbor and then we get mad. So thank you for that. I take everything from my sisters. And it's all about maturity. And it's all about us having our sisterhood back.
I just like to give a cheers to Traci Harvey. Traci, we take no. Traci blesses my soul and makes me whole.
She always brings it together. Even if you don't understand it, she brings it together.
Tamar, beautiful. Love your endurance. Love how you go and you thrive for you. It makes me look at myself and want me to thrive in my career. So thank you for that, so I can learn from that. Thank you. Tony, thank you so much for being a strong sister. Many times you don't want to be strong. Thank you. Trina, I thank you for your business mind, because it makes me want to be a business person too. Tawanda, I need to be more of a secret squirrel like you. What? Because guess what? Because sometimes we tell each other too much stuff and then we harbor and then we get mad. So thank you for that. I take everything from my sisters. And it's all about maturity. And it's all about us having our sisterhood back.
I just like to give a cheers to Traci Harvey. Traci, we take no. Traci blesses my soul and makes me whole.
She always brings it together. Even if you don't understand it, she brings it together.
All right, so oh man, that was hard to watch, but I'm glad that the family, if you want to look at it, they had a way of coming to peace with it when they could look at videos like that. She's told them how she felt about them and that she loved them, all of the sisters, gorgeous sisters, by the way, beautiful family. May she rest in peace, Sister Traci. My prayers to her. My prayers go out to her entire family, including her husband, Kevin Surratt Sr., her son, Kevin Surratt Jr., and the rest of the Braxton family, her mother and father, I believe, who are still alive. That's the worst thing to go through, is not just the death of a parent, but the death of a child is probably the worst feeling in the world. I remember when my grandfather, my mom's father, lost his daughter and he lost his son. My grandfather outlived 2 children. and he died when he was 96. But I remember when my Aunt Ellen died, and she died on her birthday, and just to see my grandfather walk in the funeral home, and he outlived my grandmother too, but to see him, I never saw my grandfather cry like that. I never saw him cry at all. That was my first time really dealing with. Uh, I've had a death of a loved one, but really, really someone I knew I was close with. When my dad's mother died, my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, I didn't know her that well. I was only 7. So I didn't get to spend a lot of time with her because she was in the nursing home, like in the last years of her life. So we would visit every now and then to pay a visit to her. My father would always go visit her by himself, and sometimes I would come with him. I have little memories of her, flashes, but it's important that you tell the people you love how much you love them because you may never see them again. You may never know when it's time to cut when your tab is called, and that's just real. That's just real. You never know when it's gonna happen, so that's why you tell everyone you love. God is in control of everything. Our time on earth isn't determined by us; it's determined by the cosmic engineer, and he makes that call. I wish I could live as long as I can. I try and live it to the fullest. That's why I say live your life to the fullest, but do right by others and by God when you're doing it. So I should say do right by God and then do right by others because he comes first. But I'm really this makes me sad though to see her die at a young age, 50 years old, man. That's young. But may she rest in peace again, rest in power, Sister Traci. That entire family has talent dripping out of its bloodstream, flowing through its entire bloodstream. That whole family. So, my thoughts and prayers to them. Tony, in particular, I'm sure she's hurt by it. I'm sure Tamar, all of them. So, yeah, cancer ain't no joke, man. But I think that runs in families. Esophageal, you know, when I think of that, I think of somebody who smokes. People who have throat cancer, people who have lung cancer. Like Sammy Davis Jr. died from like throat cancer. He smoked all the time. Just like Nat King Cole smoked all the time. He had lung cancer. So I don't think she smoked though. So I could be wrong about that. But yeah, acid reflux can cause that too. All right, hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. So next, let's go to this. All right, I'm gonna go with this. Lawyer who represents Jane Doe in Chris Brown lawsuit withdraws. Now, you heard me talking earlier. Shout out to my sister. Is she even on live? I'm gonna see if my sister Nicole's View. I was on her live stream earlier this afternoon. And I was with her, with Harvey, and shout out to her. Thank you, especially for allowing me, to come on. I always enjoy it. We were long today, but usually when Harvey is on, we're always long because he's got something to say. Yeah, I'm sorry, Danielle. So we talked about this, and shout out to Tyree. I don't know if he's here because he asked, well, we're going to talk about Chris Brown. I've already talked about it, but I'm going to talk about it by the end. I'm sorry, DeShaun Watson. I'm going to talk about that at the end. But the attorney for the Jane Doe, one of the attorneys, has stepped down from the case. According to documents filed by the court, Ariel Mitchell, who represented the accuser until Wednesday, confirmed to TMZ that she will no longer be representing the young woman. She said she was never told about the text messages and voice messages that her client had sent to Brown before Wednesday. What happened, of course, those of know, if you follow me on Thursday, Brown went to the police and released over several months of messages from between him and the accuser. Between him and the accuser, the woman who has filed a lawsuit in federal court suing Brown for millions of dollars, claiming that he sexually assaulted her back in December of 2020. He's accused of drugging and raping her on a yacht at Diddy's residence in Miami. Miami police official possesses text messages between Brown and the woman that shows she was in contact with Brown after the alleged incident. You see Chris Brown right there. Now, according to Radar Online, Jane Doe filed a lawsuit against him, accusing the singer of drugging and raping her. The messages between the two revealed that the woman sent Brown selfies while using racy dialogue toward the singer. The exchanges took place after the assault, she describes in her lawsuit. In a series of Instagram story posts, there is a voice recording of a message she left Brown, which may give doubt to the story that she stated in her lawsuit. In response to the proof Brown has publicly released, he has a message toward the media as he expresses if they will keep the same energy they had when reporting the alleged assault charges against him. No more dragging me through the mud. Clearly, you can all see the cap. Now let's see if the media will keep the same energy they had trying to destroy me to run the real story. Brown said his legal team is taking action on this situation. So, Chris Brown, I salute Chris Brown on this. He is absolutely right. He is absolutely right to clear his name. This attorney drops out because I think this attorney could read through the lines and saw, based off those text messages, that this woman was obviously trying to look at Chris Brown for a come up. Now, I don't know if, of course, those messages have to be verified. Brown has stated he has released them. He has cooperated with the police. I take it at that. Of course, if it goes through court or some forth, they have to verify all of this, whether if it's phone messages or not, or if it's her who actually made these messages and so forth. But if it is true, as I said on Thursday, then he should actually sue her, sue her for defamation if he can, and he has grounds for that, or some type of legal recourse against her for falsely putting out these rape accusations. To label someone a rapist, ladies and gentlemen, as we have stated with Bill Cosby, what we've seen with Don Cornelius that they try to do with him, other black men, ever since this Me Too thing has started, it is a serious accusation. This is not a small deal. This is a big deal. To call someone a rapist without proof of wrongdoing. As bad, yes, rape happens, but it's even worse when you lie. Because when you lie about it, you take advantage, first and foremost, of the system. You're tying it up with something that's false, where our resources could go to somewhere else, to real victims who have been raped, real victims who have been murdered, real victims children who have been molested by serial predators. Police attention could be diverted to somewhere where it's needed, but you do this because you didn't get the relationship you wanted, or you didn't really, not even the relationship, you don't get the lifestyle that you wanted, because let's be real, it's about you having a lifestyle. I wish Bill Cosby had that technology too. Bill Cosby, here's the thing though, Bill Cosby technically could have had, video cameras put up in his house to watch what he was doing. Although, there were home security systems back then, probably not as out there as we speak because we see markets for it like Ring and what's a couple of the others, ADT, Cox, all of these other places. But it's there, and I can tell because I'm seeing some people leaving the page that it's after 8, so everybody is actually going to, I guess, for Jason Black's channel. I saw they cut him off yesterday. This proves exactly, Danielle, that you cannot believe all women. This shatters Me Too. The Me Too movement has taken some L's in the last, I want to say, year and a half. Probably a little longer than that, but around that time. When they could not get Joe Biden because they wanted Joe Biden to beat Donald Trump. They wanted the orange man out. So it was about let Joe Biden get in, and Joe Biden had some assault allegations against him. Remember, there was an ad that was put out that actually a former prosecutor did an editorial, and his entire editorial was why Joe Biden should not be prosecuted, why no one should hold this over him, why he cast doubt on the allegations that were levied against him, and the accuser who was the accuser of Joe Biden, casting doubt on her story. We didn't see the same energy with Bill Cosby. You did have attorneys that may have spoken out, but mainstream media didn't go through the lengths that they did. You had people like the Rose McGowan, I believe it was Rose McGowan, or was it Alyssa Milano? I can't even remember who was part of one of the two. They all look the same to me, shit. But we got to support Joe Biden, and she was pushing that. I think it was Alyssa Milano. She said she was going to vote for Biden because she was all part of that Me Too shit. All of these women have gotten exposed. These people have gotten exposed for their wrongdoing. Tara Reid was the woman that leveled allegations against Joe Biden, and how, as a leader of the Me Too movement, she supported Biden. She was silent. People were calling her a fraud. And then we got Chris Brown here. Remember when even I think Gloria Allred came for Chris Brown? This is what these attorneys sound like. This attorney, and let me say this in fairness, because as a lawyer myself, I know that clients will lie. Clients don't tell you everything. And so there's a possibility this attorney did not know about the text messages. But attorneys have to be very careful when we file lawsuits, when you file suits or when you make charges, because as an attorney in Louisiana, I know in particular, when you put your signature on a pleading, you're certifying to the court as an officer that the case has standing, that the case, you have a reasonable presumption that the case is valid. That's Alyssa Milano there. And Chris Brown, let's be real, since the accusation, since what happened with Rihanna, Chris Brown has never truly been the same. His career was never the same. He was on track. I mean, he was doing movies. He was in Takers. He was in, he did This Christmas. I think he may have been in, I don't know if he was in Stump the Yard. That might have been Neo. Yeah, that was Leo. Chris Brown and even Michael Jackson even said Chris Brown was going to be the next one. He had the songs like Run It and so forth. I remember when they had him do his tribute to James Brown when he died at the Grammys. But I really feel, but Chris Brown should sue. If he has recourse, he should sue this woman, counter sue her. I think that this attorney, Ariel Mitchell, she may not be as in trouble as the other lawyers, or she actually could be, but she said she was unaware. I saw Boyce Watkins talking about it. You know, I doubt if anything would happen to her. But the other attorney who is representing the accuser, now remember, she has multiple, you can have as many attorneys as you want. Of course, you have the attorney who files the suit, and then you have co-counsel of record who come in there to assist the attorney on certain things. They may help them draft the pleadings because he gets his plate full, and they bring other lawyers in. But George Verback of Verback Adams Incorporated are representing this woman. Now, I don't know who George Verback is, where his office is located. Let's see if we can find out. So he's actually in litigation with Trey Songz, it seems here. But, you know, this kind of reminds me, and I don't know, again, I don't know this gentleman. But I read here, the website says, advocating for those whose rights have been violated. I'm trying to, I don't know why what is going on with this computer? I don't know what's going on. If I click on something and it just doesn't work. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to click on this link to this website, and it's not pulling up for whatever reason. I'm hating YouTube. I hate StreamYard. I hate this when I hate when it does this shit. I really do. But this is George. Okay, well, let me do this better. This is George Vrabic right here. This is a lawyer for Jane Doe. Now, he was named in Best Lawyers, Lawyer of the Year in 2022. I don't know what he has, how they're going to explain all of this, but this does not look good for him. This is not good for his client doing that. But I think Chris Brown has a great chance of getting this dismissed. It looks like that's what's going to happen eventually. But, you know, his career will never be the same. And speaking of Chris Brown, I guess this is a way to segue into this, and that is going in talking about DeShaun Watson. So we have another black man, a young black man at that, 26 years old, accused of sexually assaulting his masseuse, or masseuses, I should say, because there are more of them that have filed lawsuits against him, represented by Tony Busby. Of course, he's represented by Rusty Harding. And we're finding out as of yesterday that DeShaun Watson, on Friday rather, he will not face any criminal charges relating to these lawsuits. Now, I'm going to show you all what was reported by, this is coming from Odyssey. I want you to see how they worded this. Now, when this news came out, Adam Schefter, who is one of the leading journalists, sports journalists on ESPN, sports reporter, he actually does the breaking news. So whenever ESPN comes out with stories, they do a breaking news and they get this man. So he was among the first to report that quarterback DeShaun Watson will not face criminal charges after a grand jury declined to indict him in Harris County Court on Friday. So let's play. It's going to make me go on Twitter, but I want to play DeShaun's statement. Okay, so I can play that there.
It's definitely a very emotional moment to me. I know we're far from being done of handling what we need to handle on the legal side, but today is definitely a big day, and I think my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for letting the truth be heard, and I think everyone that was a part of this, of seeing and hearing both sides, and that's what my point and my team wanted to do is have a fair slate of us telling our side of the story, and letting the conclusion come down to what happened today, and that's what the grand jury decided on. So, yeah, thank you, and I thank my Lord and Savior, and just gonna keep fighting to rebuild my name and rebuild my appearance in the community, and we're gonna continue to, on the legal side, off the field, handle what we need to handle, but also ready to get back on the field, being prepared for that, and ready to go for that. So, thank my family, all my close supporters that's been behind me this past year. Thank my team that's been behind me, supporting me, keeping me up this past year. And yeah, I'm going to continue to just keep pushing forward and build my name back to where it was, if not better.
Okay. So that was what he had to say about that. Now, all right. So now let's back out. Want to show you how. Okay. I want to show you how these people, how they twist the story, how they say things to attack Black men, especially if they're accused of sexual assault and the stuff that they read. Now, this is an article by Jesse Panasuco from Odyssey. So I read the first part of this. Now, that was his opening statement. Now, this is what he says. It goes further. Now, the burden of proof is obviously much greater in criminal cases than in civil court, where Watson still faces 22 lawsuits. In reporting Friday's legal outcome, Schefter shared a tweet many perceived as exonerating the three-time Pro Bowler, noting Watson's confidence that, quote, the truth would come out. This is why DeShaun Watson, from the beginning, welcomed the police investigation. He felt he knew that the truth would come out, and today a grand jury did not charge him on any of the criminal complaints. Now, this is where it goes south. While acquiring Watson may seem palatable to teams now that he's managed to avoid charges, the NFL's moral ambiguity, when it comes to these matters is a subject for another day. That's not synonymous with innocence or whatever Watson's version of the truth may be. The vast majority of sexual assaults go unreported, with few complaints making it to trial and even fewer resulting in convictions. Another defect in our legal system. Okay, let me stop right there. What's the defect? That's not a defect if there's no conviction. You base a conviction on evidence. A jury here's what the charges are, or a judge here's what the charges are. They have the duty, based off the evidence or lack thereof, to acquit a defendant. That is standard American law. That is not a defect. That has been this way in this country since 1783. 1789, when the Constitution was ratified. Excuse me. You see those 10 Bill of Rights? Your 4th, your 5th, your 6th, and 8th Amendment deal with criminal prosecution, criminal procedure. Now look further. He goes, oh, he's got to mention Cosby. For instance, comedian Bill Cosby, who has been credibly accused of over 50 sexual assaults. He has not been credibly accused. Many outside the statute of limitations, currently lives his life as a free man. However, that arbitrary distinction doesn't absolve him in the court of public opinion or in the eyes of his accusers, who rightfully lamented Cosby's guilty verdict being overturned in 2021. So he says rightfully lamented. Now, I know for a fact, Jesse Patasuco is not a lawyer, because you can tell by how he's writing this article how emotional he is. I don't even see here, there's nothing on him. I don't see anything, articles he's written. He's probably written for a couple, but there's a reason why you can't find more about him. He doesn't do this shit often, probably. But then he goes into talking about OJ, and I've already said with Cosby, I can't beat the drum any further. There is no technicality due process. Denial of due process is not a technicality if a conviction is overturned. Due process is a fundamental right of American law. He goes further. The same is true of O.J. Simpson and other disgraced celebrities who have gotten off on technicalities. How is it a technicality when there was a trial? There was an actual trial with O.J. Do you not remember that? He didn't get off on a technicality. O.J. was in jail awaiting trial. He had no bail. He was considered a flight risk. They had him in jail, the prison, from June 13th of 1994, when this whole thing, June of 1994, when this whole thing started, up until October of 95, when he was exonerated. He had done a year in prison, over a year. And yet white America couldn't stand it. And so Adam Schefter, he had to recant what he said. He said it was a poorly worded tweet that deserves a proper response. It was intended to provide insight into the strategy of Watson's legal team from its point of view. I should have been clear. As legal experts have explained, a lack of an indictment alone does not mean someone is innocent. No, it doesn't. Well, here's the thing. It is not a verdict of your innocence. However, it means that there is no probable cause in which to support the claim made by the state or the accusers. And as such, if the prosecutor wants to bring charges by their own, they could do that. But here's the thing. Does he have evidence to move forward? Your presumption of innocence, ladies and gentlemen, as I stated before, remains intact up until you are convicted in a court of law. There has been no conviction, and as such, DeShaun Watson is by law deemed innocent. The presumption of innocence remains intact. He has not been found guilty either. That's so hard to believe. And all these people who are upset with him trying to say Schefter should have likely known better than to post something that would have invalidated or cast doubt on the serious allegations levied by Watson's accusers. And today, women were reminded why they rarely bother to pursue justice, especially when up against a league that has shown it will protect its moneymakers above all else. Oh, you pain in the ass. It doesn't mean a lie. It doesn't mean the lie is the truth either, Jason Gregar. That doesn't mean the truth came out. Well, what is the truth? Tell me what you know what the truth is. Look at all these hacks. Ben Mikshi, he's an attorney. Well, here's the thing. I'm an attorney too. I don't know if Ben is I don't think Ben is a criminal lawyer. All of these people who say this shit, these are suspected white supremacists. I'm gonna just call it what it is. They always do this shit with a black man. This is why black men. Oh, I'm looking here. He's Bosnian, and I see all of this Ukraine stuff on his Twitter handle right now. As a lawyer, I could tell you, well, what law have you practiced? I hear all the people who say they're a lawyer, just like Dan Abrams, really like Gloria Allred in particular, they haven't done time in the courtroom. Your stupid self. You went to Albany Law School. You all should know that if you're an attorney, you should also, it's important to point out that DeShaun Watson is still presumed innocent. You wait until the facts come out. These women, by all accounts, it's been reported, they actually got and went to a private attorney, had lawsuits filed before they went to court, before they went to the police. Y'all doing the same shit that you did with Kobe. When Kobe went to court, you tried to say, well, Kobe Bryant was still a rapist. You had Abigail Disney and Evan Rachel Wood who said Kobe Bryant is sad he's died, but yeah, he raped this woman. Even though it went to court and the judge threw the charges out, the state threw the charges out because they couldn't have enough evidence. That's why women don't come forward. Shut the hell up. Like you give a damn about the women. You don't even know the women. If they came up to you and said hi. Don't know shit. This man has not been formally charged. He can get on with his life. If the prosecutor wants to bring charges, if they chose to do that, that's something to think about for another day. But even if the prosecutor brings charges, if he gets exonerated in court, I'm willing to bet. How many of y'all willing to bet? Give me a hands up in the chat right now. How many of y'all are willing to bet if he goes on trial and gets exonerated, they'll still say the truth never came out? I'm betting the farm. Who's willing to bet? He'll be the same one. Yeah, Jesse will be the same one, as well as Ben Miek, and others. All of these people that you saw on Odyssey criticizing Adam Shepner, they'll be the same trolls that will be out here trying to say that he should have, saying that he should be in jail. They're never satisfied. Note it. Let's go back. Hold on. I want to note this. I want y'all to all look at here. Look at these trolls. Look, let's get their names. Computer Cowboy, Midnight, Ben Miek, we know who he is already, Molly Morrison, Joe Greer, Jason Gregor, Brooke T. Sample, Sam Bloom. I want you to, I will willing to bet the farm, ladies and gentlemen, all of these men and women will, if Deshaun Watson goes to trial and gets exonerated, they're going to say the same thing. Don't believe me, just watch. Because they don't care about truth. They care about agendas. They care about their emotions. This is emotionally driven. Mark my words. All right, y'all. I don't have any more to do. I don't have any more to talk about with regards to this. Yeah, so I don't have any much more to say, guys, but you all let me know what it is that you think, what you think about this. So anyway, glad to see you all here. I see some people put their hands up in the chat. I think some people are flipping in between that. Is Jason Black on tonight? I know they cut his live stream off yesterday when they were talking about Juicy Smouye. Yes, it is an agenda. Computer Robot said, why can't these cowards just share out their real names instead of hiding behind keyboard in the computer? Well, that's, you answered the question. They're cowards. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I did see earlier, and I was talking earlier, that Kanye and DL Hughley were going at it. Kanye threatened DL. I saw Willie D was defending DL earlier. My whole thing, I'm not going to say what people can and can't say, but look, DL Hughley is older than Kanye West. And I've seen how DL Hughley reacted with Bill Cosby. I've seen how he's talked with, the Rutgers women and so forth. Remember when that happened, when Don Imus called them nappy-headed hoes, and he co-signed what Don Imus said, and people were protesting DL Hughley for that. So a lot of people, he's rubbed the wrong way. A lot of people take issue with stuff he said. I know my man Juan B, he's gone at it with DL. So he can be an instigator with stuff. But I don't support, obviously, someone threatening another man's family or his life. I can't support that. As some issues, obviously mental issues. So I don't know why I would be even entertaining. I saw him on Vlad when he was talking about it. And let's bear in mind, yeah, I think Kanye and Kim share children together. Divorce is not easy, especially if your wife is slipping out on you. So I'm not going to take sides in this necessarily, but I could see why. I can see the argument. But Kanye West, something is wrong with him. You know, it's clear he's a bipolar. He suffers from bipolar disorder. So I hope that somebody could be there for him that can actually talk to him about what he's doing. Yo, you need to chill out. Yo, don't do this. Don't do that. Uh, you know, have a mentor, a mentee that could be there that'll take care of him. Yeah, Watson actually. They're talking about the Saints showing interest in him. I hope he can come here. Go Saints, get him. He can still be suspended. Well, here's the thing. Remember, Ben Roethlisberger got suspended, even though he was never convicted on any of those charges. So if he got suspended for 6 games, it would only be fair if Watson got 6 games. You know, they're not going to let a black man not get away with that. Oh, you're gonna do if it's they did it to a white boy, you know you're in trouble if you're black. So I'm gonna wrap things up, y'all. I wasn't gonna be too long, but I got some more stuff to do. I have our live stream, our new podcast coming up. So I'm dropping the trailer for that this week. I know I said I was gonna do it last week, but I'm working on that tonight. Trying to get it out as soon as possible. So be on the lookout. You might see that. And also, when the book will be available, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr. That will be available soon. Go to the Facebook page at Commonwealth Cos, ladies and gentlemen, to get the latest updates on it. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap this thing up. What's up, Darius from Atlanta? So, yeah, subscribe to our Facebook page. Also, go to NorniesCreoleBlends.com, ladies and gentlemen. I can't stress that enough, and support our Creole seasoning blend. NorniesCreoleBlends.com. Trying on chicken, meat, or fish. Nornies goes great with every dish. So you go here, order you some Creole seasoning. We sent some off already to some people. Click that shopping cart there, continue shopping, order you some good old seasoning. We got more to come. We're trying to get in stores like Heb. We're also trying to get in some other stores locally here. So y'all stick around for that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, so the Facebook page for Commonwealth Cos is right here. You can go there and subscribe to the Facebook page at Commonwealth Cos. Thank you, B1 Beauty Supply and Darius from Atlanta. By the way, B1, please email me because I had some questions I want to ask you about, if you could. Also, of course, we have our music, including Video Soul, which is available on Apple, and also we have our theme song, which we play every night before we get on here. We've gotten on down. Now it's time to get on up and get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. So here you go, Danielle. This is for you. Oh, I will be in Lafayette this Thursday again. If you're out in the Lafayette area, 8 o'clock at the Wurzburg Garden, we will be doing some comedy. So you all come on out, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of the night, folks. Good night.
Girl, come on.
Be1.
Gotta dance to the beat, cause on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get all up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the
Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you're breathing, you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
And move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the
Yeah, gotta get on. Come on, baby, gotta get on. Baby.
feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the
Feel the groove, get on the floor. That's right. That's my jam. Even in my judicial robe, I feel the groove and get on the floor. Yeah. I got more and more and more. I'm getting up dancing. I'm going to do turn up. You mean to tell me turn up? You mean to tell me turn up? Come on, Miss Holly.